welcome to the Book Studio. I'm your host, Bethanne Patrick, and today I'm really delighted to be here with Frank Warren, who is the author of the PostSecret books, the director of the PostSecret project. Frank, thanks for being here.
It's great to be here.
Really glad to have you back. And we're talking today about PostSecret, Life, Death, and God. And first thing I want to ask is about the books. They're different size. They're not the same width or height as the other PostSecret books. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there are 5 PostSecret books, and this is the latest one. And with every book, I try and tell a different story with our secrets. I try and knit them together in this cohesive narrative. And the latest book, PostSecret Confessions on Life, Death, and God, has funny secrets and sexual secrets, hopeful and shocking secrets, like all the books. But more than the others, it has these soulful, kind of spiritual secrets. And we put it in a more intimate format, I think, where there's 1 postcard per page, and it's the least expensive of all the PostSecret books. So.
Well, and that's a very important thing, because book sales are the way you've chosen to continue funding PostSecret. And I want to make sure I mention that, because it is really important to you to keep the PostSecret site, postsecret.com, free of ads. So let's talk a little bit about that, why you think that the book sales are so important and integral to the project.
Well, I feel like the PostSecret project is a collection of these very beautiful secrets that I share with people different ways. And the reason I've been able to receive these secrets is because I've somehow been able to earn the trust of strangers, people who've never met me, hundreds of thousands of people from around the world. And I think one of the reasons I'm trusted with people's secrets is because they know I won't exploit them with paid advertising on the website. And in fact, the PostSecret website has received over 250 million hits, and we've never had 1 paid advertisement on the website. And I think that's one of the reasons that people can trust me with these very deep and sometimes vulnerable secrets.
They're a form of art. For you, this began as a project that was based in art, and you treat the secrets like that. So instead of being a commodity, they are something that, as you said, is beautiful and sacred on the page. So let's talk a little bit about how this project grew, how you thought of it, and how it's changed over the years.
Well, it started right here in Washington, D.C. Almost 5 years ago exactly. I printed up 3,000 self-addressed postcards, handed them out to strangers, and that started this avalanche of secrets that I don't think I could turn off now, even if I wanted to. I still get about 200 postcards every day.
Every day.
And as you mentioned, there's a secret, but also an extraordinary piece of artwork on the card, a photograph, a drawing, a collage that further conveys that feeling of the secret. And in some ways, I think one of the best parts of the project is how it shows that there's an artist inside all of us, and sometimes courage and the strength to be vulnerable is more important, perhaps, than artistic training or talent, and really creating enduring art that can move us.
Well, it's interesting. Did you ask for that at first, or were people just supposed to tell you a secret? Or did they just simply start adding the art, or was that something you deliberately asked them to do?
Well, I asked people to use the postcard as a canvas, so I left it wide open, and that has really been one of for me, the most meaningful parts of the project, is what that has meant, and how sometimes I think there are secrets that we might be afraid to put into words or almost admit to ourselves, but by using that artwork, we can still convey it in a way that communicates it to the person who's on the other end.
What's the most interesting material or medium that you've received a postcard on? I'm sure there are some things on metal, things on glass.
Both metal and glass. I've received secrets written and mailed to me on seashells, naked Polaroid pictures, various fruits and vegetables. One of my favorites arrived on a 1-pound bag of coffee. I got this bag of coffee, my home address, postage was on it. The person wrote their secret right on the bag. They wrote, "Where I work, for whatever reason, they don't keep inventory, so please enjoy 16 ounces of our finest dark roast."
Did you drink the coffee?
I never drank the coffee, but it smelled great.
That's pretty funny. And speaking of the media that are used, have the secrets changed over the years? It's not a long time, but I'm still wondering if people seem to have trends or themes that come up. I know you put them in the books according to topic, but how about according to time?
I think over time, especially the relationship that I've had with the project has changed, and I think the nature of the secret's a little bit too. When I started PostSecret, it felt a little bit like a lark, almost a prank. But over the years, as thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of postcards have arrived at my home, I have felt this deeper meaning, this relationship and trusting someone with a stranger, whether it's me or a friend or a partner. And for me, one of the things about this project and this book that's so meaningful is how the secrets touch on our relationship with the greater mysteries in life. Maybe some of the stories that we don't feel comfortable sharing at church or synagogue or mosque or even with our family. And sometimes if you have that stranger who's not going to judge you, who will not be in the future of your life, you can feel more comfortable anonymously releasing, your deepest fear or hope or whatever.
Well, you shared a thought earlier with me that I wanted to have us talk about a little bit as well. This is a book. It's not anything that's a file yet. It's not an ebook, or maybe someday it will be able to be. But you have some thoughts about the actual physicality of these postcards and the actual physicality of the books. So I wanted to talk about that too, why you think that's so important.
Sometimes people want to share a secret with me electronically, type it in, text it to me, and I always prefer the postcard. I think there's something special about linking up this very old and traditional form of communication technology with blogging, which is very modern and of the moment. And also too, I think there's something really special about someone expressing their secret on a postcard, exposing it, and then letting it go physically into a mailbox where, again, it's exposed for its whole journey from them to me, going through the hands of strangers.
Yep.
And sometimes the card itself can be damaged, or stickers or stamps are on it, and so it almost looks like the secret has a life of its own. And so the story is not completely told. And as you see it on the web or in the book or at an art exhibit, it might impact your life in a way that reverberates and keeps the power of that secret generating.
Absolutely, and I want to point out too that sometimes the books are changed by people leaving their secrets. That's a whole other interview we could talk about, and I know we don't have time for that, but this really, they do take on a life of their own. Now, what is coming up next? Another PostSecret book? Are there plans, or is this something that is going to have a natural endpoint for you?
I think, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm asked a lot about goals or objectives, where's the project going? And from the very beginning, I've always tried to just listen to the project and the community that's built around PostSecret and follow where it leads. And so I will continue to try and listen carefully and grow the project in a way that's consistent with its purity, I think.
Right.
And so that might mean talking to people about possible film or television projects, the stories behind the secrets. I continue to tour to college campuses and show some of the postcards that were banned from the books and tell inspirational and funny stories behind the secrets that I don't get a chance to share regularly. And then there's art exhibits too with the actual postcards touring the country. So that keeps me pretty busy.
Well, fantastic. We're glad you made some time to come here. Thank you so much. The book is PostSecret, Life, Death, and God from William Morrow by Frank Warren, of course. Frank, thank you so much.
That was a great pleasure.
Great. Join us next time on The Book Studio.